Hi everyone. I am so excited because today we're going to talk about fragrance, particularly in my favorite era, which is the 90s. I was an adolescent in the 90s. I was 8 all the way up to 18 years old during that decade. So talking about fragrance during that time is really a reflection of what I remember. The sort of minimalism that went on, the grunginess, and then all of a sudden things got really dressed down. Everything was about clean lines, darker colors, brown lipstick, brown eyeshadow, all of the makeup. It almost seemed like you kind of wanted to look dead in a way. And personally, I really got into this sort of Buffy the Vampire Slayer goth light type of style where I wore all black and very berry tones on my lips and a lot of silver jewelry, but then I would also curl my hair and these ringlets, and it was a time to find your identity, let's say. And I want to start with a fragrance that takes us back to 1991, and that is Amarige. Now, if you love fragrance, you probably know this perfume. This is actually an eau de toilette, and it was created by Dominique Rapillon, and the cap really reminds me of this early 90s style, because coming out of the 80s, everything was big. Sleeves were huge. There were shoulder pads, and this cap is actually modeled after Huberti Givenchy's muse, Bettina Graziani. And he would make these huge billowy sleeves for her, and that is what this is supposed to be reminiscent of. And of course the name is Amarige, marriage. This I'm assuming is supposed to be a bridal scent, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's not a super light scent. It's not a super clean scent. I think it was the early 2000s when everything was light and clean. This goes completely against that. I'm gonna spray it on myself. This has a ton of notes in it, and it starts out with some fruitiness, and it has a bit of a tanginess to it, a sharpness. Let's just say that. But then the florals come in, and the floral that I get a lot of is tuberose. This is a very white floral, so it has tuberose, gardenia. It also has peony in it. It is a substantial scent. It's going to carry. I wouldn't spray this. I mean, like, I can spray pretty heavily. I usually do spray here, and then on my wrists, and then on my inner elbow, but I would probably just do maybe 4 sprays, and actually just 2, like on both of my wrists, and then maybe just 1 right here, and it'll carry. This lasts for a really long time. This will last you about, I would say, 8 hours, but at least that's on my skin. But really, it's an incredibly beautiful classic white floral. Some may call it vintage. I know there's a lot of debate about what vintage, what can be classified as a vintage scent. This doesn't smell like it was, created as a trend for right now. Let's just say that. But it does feel very classic. And there are certain scents that are classics that I feel are not, perfumes that I would wear, like Chanel No. 5. I don't feel like that works for me because it is so aldehydic, and that just doesn't go well with my personal skin chemistry. But this is sort of a perfect balance because it does have, that feminine quality to it, though of course anyone can wear this fragrance. But it also has a little bit of that sharpness and that weight to it. There is a weight to it, and that's what I really like. I really like that this doesn't just fade into the background. This is something that you wear and people will notice you and go, what is that? And, you know, if they're familiar with fragrance, or, you know, they remember that time when this fragrance was, you know, really popular, then maybe they'll love that nostalgia too. This is one that I'll always keep. My mom actually bought this for me as my first perfume. I absolutely loved it. It was a tiny bottle because she couldn't really afford to buy me a large bottle of perfume. And it's actually spilled in my purse. And every single time I opened my purse, I could smell it, and it smelled so good. So this is a bottle I bought for myself, and I love it. I'll keep it forever. Moving on, we're gonna go to 1996 to Chanel Allure. Now this is the only other fragrance I'm going to mention in this video, just because I think I don't have a ton of 90s fragrances in my collection, but I just wanted to choose a couple just to get across the sort of way things change. Things change so much in 10 years. And when I look at this bottle, I immediately think of the 90s. 1996. This is completely indicative of the time. Clean lines, super pared down. Even the juice inside, it's got this peachiness to it, but it's sort of muted. The top has like this muted peach tone to it. Everything is super minimal. I just absolutely love it. But there's so much sophistication there. I just love the gold letters. I know that Allure Sensual is the more popular of the two. This is the original EDP, but I actually haven't tried the Sensual. This was a gift for me from my husband for my birthday, but I just absolutely love it. This, again, it has fruity tones to it. It opens up with a citrus and a fruity tone. It has peach in it, hence the peachiness of the bottle. So it does have, it's not a super light. This is definitely not a light scent. This is a scent that has some weight to it. But that peach comes through in this sort of tanginess, but also a sweetness. It's not a super sweet fragrance, but then it goes into, let me actually just, I'm gonna spray this on my other. But then it goes into this floral note. And there is a sharpness to it as well. This is a different fragrance. This is not a soft fragrance. This is a powerful fragrance. This is something that I would wear if I was going to be presenting something at work. This is something that I would wear if I was on a very important Zoom call, if I had an interview. If there was a lot at stake, I would wear this to bolster myself, to give me a sense, you know, of confidence, to make me feel like I'm gonna take what's mine. I imagine a powerful woman or a powerful person wearing this fragrance at work or in their everyday life. You can also wear this with a white t-shirt just to make a statement. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it lasts a really long time. Of course, it's Chanel. The projection on this fragrance is really great. I could put this on in the morning and I would probably be smelling it. I would be smelling it at the end of the day. So I absolutely love this fragrance. This is Chanel Allure. So I hope you enjoyed that little trip down memory lane with me. If you have any, please share with me your favorite 90s fragrances or your favorite fragrances from any decade. I would love to know what your recommendations are. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.